Hello again and greetings from Mork's Saloon. You can watch our almond milk video to find out why it's called Mork's Saloon. Today we're going to make some grapefruit juice. Grapefruit juice, not grapefruit. If you have pomelo, if you live in Hawaii or other areas where you have access to pomelo, pomelo is a wonderful ingredient. I'm in New York, so I'm stuck with grapefruit. For those who had pomelo, by all means, do it. This is in a Ziploc, and that's because when I'm trying to live healthy here in New York, and I don't want to be dragging a grapefruit bag home with my groceries, because walking up 4 flights of stairs with grapefruit and all the other groceries is a mess. So I tend to buy my grapefruit all together at one store and drag it all home in one setting, get it all processed, and then I simply just freeze my grapefruit. Just get the peel off and cut it into wedges, and there you go. Freeze it, and then when you want your grapefruit juice, you just have to open the freezer, thaw the grapefruit for a little bit, and you're ready to go. So that's how we do it. It may not look awesome right now, but it tastes just as good as fresh grapefruit juice. And for those who have a lot of citrus or pomelo in their backyard or whatever in certain parts of the country, hey, freeze it when you can, and then just use it for juice as you go through the year. So we'll just put that in the bowl there. And then what we do with our grapefruit juices is we put citrus in there, and again I froze my citrus. I just had cubes of lemon in here, like 3 cubes of lemon, 2 or 3. Just put them in here to thaw, and so they're thawed, they're ready to go as well. So we're just going to take the lemon and pop it right in here. There we go. And then for a little zest and pizzazz, we add ginger to ours. It's also very healthy for you, ginger. So a piece of organic, it's all organic. You definitely want to have organic citrus, because that stuff, pesticide goes into the citrus. Pesticide on citrus is one of those things that actually gets absorbed into the fruit, so you can't peel it off. So you definitely want to do organic citrus. So here we have some organic ginger, and you can see this is very yellow. Yellow ginger has a more pungent ginger flavor. Blue ginger, for example, is a much less pungent flavor. Older ginger will tend to be stronger flavor than younger ginger. Young ginger you can sort of like peel the peel off with your nail. This one isn't young. You can see this is older ginger. So, but it keeps in the fridge very, very well, and it's very good for you. So if ever you have a cold, pop some ginger into your grapefruit and lemon juice and just start drinking, and pretty soon you'll probably feel a whole lot better. But I mean, drink this 2 or 3 times in one day when you have a cold coming, and that's what's going to take care of you. It's not a little glass of this. It's heavy duty, because you're basically alkalizing your body with citrus. So that's what we have here. And now we're going to get our beloved juicer out, which is an Omega Vert 350 HD. It's not to boast, that's just to let you know what we have. It's a wonderful juicer. It's a masticating juicer, which means it operates at 80 RPMs, which is very, very slow. Masticating means chewing, so it doesn't heat up whatever you're doing. Like the centrifugal loud juicers that spin around, they put a lot of air into whatever you're juicing, and that actually oxidizes your juice before you even get to the glass. That's not really a great idea, because oxidized juice is useless. You want the stuff in the juice, you know. That's the whole reason for going through the exercise. So a masticating juicer takes care that it does not oxidize, and it also gets the pulp very dry, so it actually maximizes your efforts. Just so you can see what goes on in here. Well, this one comes off as well. We actually need to pop this little guy in, so it's a good thing I took it off. There we go. And then this is just a little basket. This is the auger that chews, and this is the actual filter. So you can see the holes are quite small. There's 2 filters on this one, so you can actually you can get a slightly more pulpy juice out of it if you like. But I find that this works pretty well for grapefruit juice, so we just use the fine screen for everything. And then you have this guy, which is the feeder, and you can see you can't masticate your fingers, because there's actually enough distance to the auger that you're never going to get your fingers in trouble, unless you have a small child that gets their whole arm in there, which is not advisable, so obviously. So be careful with that, but otherwise it's a very good, safe juicer. And if you need to push stuff through, we have this thing for that purpose. So all set here. 2 of these, 1 for pulp and 1 for the juice coming out, and this one will tell us how much juice we're going to get. I was saying here we probably have I think probably 1.5 to 2 grapefruits in this thing, probably 2, because they get a little, you know, more mushy when they freeze. So I think we probably have 2 grapefruits in this set. So whatever we get out at the end will be the result of probably 2 grapefruits. So let's go ahead and get it going. Here comes the pulp. And now I'm extremely cheap, especially when it comes to organic food, so you want to get the most out of your food, because it isn't cheap. So I rerun my pulp. Some people just send it through and that's it. I don't. This pulp goes through 2 or 3 times until there's really not much left in it. But you can see it's very quick to make this stuff. It's extremely fast. So you saw we had the lemon juice in here, as well as whatever melted off the grapefruit. So we have this little soup of citrus here. That's extremely convenient, you see, because what we're going to do next is we're going to take this pulp and pop it in the juice. Actually, I think based on the amount of pulp we have, I think we have about 1.5 grapefruit here. I don't think there's 2 grapefruits in here. So we just put this in here, and then on the next one, we'll take this. We're still going to leave the juice behind. We're just going to pick it up and stick this slushy stuff through, and then we just keep going until there isn't much pulp left to push. Because as much as we love our earthworms and the compost pile, guess what? I want my citrus. So we'll leave a little for the worms at the end. Here we go. And you might be tempted to just pour this in, but don't do it. And if you pour it in by mistake, then add a little water, because you need something to kind of help the pulp, especially on a masticating juicer like this, because it does dry the pulp quite well. So see, it's pretty dry. So we just mash it up again and send it through again. And you could also use lime instead. What I don't put in here is orange, because well, we don't eat sugar, so we have our taste buds don't really need anything sweet anymore. But oranges are really not alkaline, and the goal is to make an alkaline juice that brings your pH up. For reasons that you can Google on the internet, alkalinity is a good thing. So we don't put oranges in here just because we don't need them for flavor. But you might put one in if you're new to this and you feel like this is too sour. But my suggestion would be to try to eat less sugar, because then suddenly things won't be so sour, and that's going to be better for you. But pomelo, you don't need oranges. Pomelos are milder than grapefruit, so those you can really just, those are fine just straight with a little lemon. I'm adding a little bit of water now since I ran out of juice to mix this in, and I still want to get my pulp through about 1 or 2 more times here. As long as you still have stuff coming through the juice thingy, you know, you still have juice coming. So as long as there's still stuff coming, you're still getting something. It's like interest in the bank, you know. Something none of us see too much of these days, but at least you can enjoy coming out of your juicer. This is compounding interest. This is the 4th one through. So we'll do 1 more run, given we're still getting, obviously we put water, so I mean there's a reason, but it still has that flavor, that color of grapefruit. And you can, this is very thick juice as it is, so you can easily put water in there, no problem. It definitely won't be thin. But we try not to put too much water in the beginning, because you can always add water at the end. So you never want to overwater things when you're doing it. So what we do is just enough water to get things juiced up, and then at the end we'll decide how much water we want to fill it up with. So that's pretty much it. And you can see what's left over from that run. It's not too shabby. We had a whole Ziploc bag full of pulp, and that's all, I mean full of grapefruit, and this is all that's left. So we're pretty much done. I'll show you another good thing about the masticating juicer. There's no pulp here. Take the outer out of here. There's not much pulp here. It juices very clean. A centrifugal juicer will leave you a lot more pulp, and it'll be wetter. See? Not much. very little pulp. So you're getting your juices worth here. You're getting your money's worth when you're juicing one of these guys. This is not a cheap juicer, but other than my husband, I gotta say it's my best friend. So he liked hearing that. And then you can scoop this stuff out here just with a little pick that comes with a juicer here. You scoop this stuff out, and there really isn't much to clean. I mean, this is a very, very easy juicer to clean. It takes me about 3 minutes or so. You just get this out, and then this goes in the sink. You basically have 5 little, you don't have to, it's messy to look at now, but there's 5 pieces, 5 components to clean. And the beauty of this is also, if you're going to make green juice afterwards, you can actually do your citrus first. And just send a little water through to clean it out. Then you can proceed with your green Marys, which is our green juices that we call green Marys. You can send that right through afterwards. And when you're done with that, you can head on with your parsley and cilantro shots or whatever else you're doing after you make your green Mary and you haven't cleaned your juicer yet. So that's convenient planning right there. Anyway, as far as this goes, we have 20 ounces now. And I'll show you another little trick. Chopsticks. Another thing you learn when you live in Hawaii in a rental that doesn't have a whole lot of utensils is chopsticks are really useful for a lot of stuff, including this. Stir up your juice to kind of get an assessment of how thick it is, because it depends a bit on how much you put through, right? And also depends on how much you intend to make, you know, because this is fairly thick. So we will normally bring it up to about 32 ounces, which is the size of a regular jar, and then that way, you know. And I'm adding reverse osmosis water because New York City hasn't learned that fluoride is poisonous. It's a pesticide byproduct, and we're not interested in drinking fluoride. It's bad for your bones, it's bad for your brain, your teeth, and everything else. It's actually bad for your teeth. Dental fluorosis? Yeah. It's bad for your teeth. So we make our own reverse osmosis water, which there's another video that shows you how we do in a little New York apartment, because we don't have a fancy RO system in this apartment. So we found a way to do it sort of externally. So there'll be another video you can find on that subject. We now have 32 ounces of this great juice. Let's try it to see how it is. Use another one of our little espresso cups here. So we're going to try a little of this here. It's awesome. Now, if you're used to eating a lot of sugar, which you shouldn't be, this will be sour for you. I'm sure it would be. For me, it's even. It's fine. It's great. It's delicious. It's awesome. A lot of times for lunch, I'll have a glass of this stuff with a couple of boiled eggs or a boiled egg, and that's it. Keeps me going for a long time. But anyway, if you are sort of on the transition phase with getting into this juicing and finding that to make things a little more palatable, they need to be a little bit sweeter for you. You know, you can add an orange, but then start cutting back, because you really want an alkaline dose for your body, because your body gets too much acid as it is. So you can use these to alkalize your body up and get your pH up, and that's really what you want. And you can Google online why that is. I'm not going to get into the details. But cheers, guys. One of these guys will do, I think it's 33 ounces. So we just pour the mess in there, and there we go. And then you just put a lid on that thing, and then, as the cameraman says, we'll add that to the hippie fridge, next to the kimchi and the homemade coconut milk and the homemade almond milk and the green juice ingredients and all the other weird stuff, that raw milk cheese that goes into a hippie fridge. Anyhow, let me get a lid for this thing, and then we'll be done with that. Bon appetit. Okay, so the final step. Now, if you live in the suburbs, obviously I don't need to teach you how to compost. I mean, you dig a hole in the backyard and you drop your pulp into the hole and put the dirt back, and your worms take care of everything. If you live in the city, please don't throw your greens in the trash, because, I mean, this is 3 days of greens in this house. And there's just no reason not to make that available to city composting. So get some gallon bags. I usually have room for a couple of these in my fridge, and then I have to go compost it. But you can at least fit a gallon into your fridge. Keep it in there, and just put everything that's green or fruit, or vegetable or fruit, or eggshells or coffee or tea into your compost. And when you have an opportunity to either meet your local gardener on your street, if there's somebody doing flowers on your street in the city, hook up with them, and I'm sure they'll love to have your compost. If not, here in New York City we have the New York City Green Market, and they actually have compost bins set up at like the Union Square Market, and at our 56th Street Market here, where we also have a market, there's compost bins out there. So, and they will take your compost. So once a week you can get rid of your compost. In the winter you could theoretically put it in a bucket outside and leave it there until the spring, and then it's ready to go, and then pour it into the hole. So compost, for goodness sakes. We'll show you more when we do other juices. We're going to be making a video on green juicing, parsley, cilantro juicing, and stuff like that. And it all goes into the compost bag at the end, the pulp. So eggshells, tea, coffee. Don't put rice and food and pasta and things in there, just what I mentioned. That keeps the compost very nice and clean. So just want to bring that little element into the end of the juicing. Now if you're doing coconut juice, or coconut milk, or almond milk, like we also have videos showing how to do that, that stuff is too good. So that stuff you put in a bag in the freezer and use it for your own baking, or other coconut rice or things like that, that you can use your pulp for that, because that's either that or feed your chickens to coconut pulp. I should also mention, for anybody who has chickens, you probably already know it, but if you compost, if you make a compost area in your yard, the chickens will love to eat off that thing and eat the worms and stuff that are produced when all this compost starts to cook, you know. So by all means, save your greens and put them in the garden. Anyhow, that's it.